Hi guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Anna Stashkina. I'm a wafer paper artist and instructor. And the most common questions I get asked a lot is what types or grades of wafer paper are available on the market and which one should you use. In this video, I'm going to show you all the different grades of wafer paper that I have, and I have quite a lot of them. We are going to talk about thin wafer paper 0.22 millimeters, the regular wafer paper or premium 0.27 millimeters, and even about wafer paper cardstock or 0.6 millimeters thickness wafer paper. So without further ado, let's begin. So let's start with the first one. So I found, and that's how I categorize my wafer paper and wafer paper in general, is there are three main types of wafer paper. First is the thin one. This one is 0.22 millimeters or O grade, but actually what I found out, it's called zero grade. It's not O grade, it's zero grade. So I will be calling this zero grade. And this brand I have is Oasis Supply that is available on Amazon. I'm not sure about the prices, like $20 or something, and you can buy directly from Amazon or Oasis Supplies. And you can see here it says zero grade, and usually wafer paper comes in the size 8 by 11 or A4 if you are in Europe. And the best part about this particular wafer paper, most of the wafer papers are made in the Netherlands, and this is the same, made over there. Main ingredients for wafer paper is potato starch, some sort of vegetable oil, and water. This one says olive oil, and all other brands I checked today is made with olive oil. So this is zero grade or 0.22 millimeters. This wafer paper is my favorite to make flowers, and in this size, like in this thickness, I could only find this brand Oasis Supply here in the States, and I buy on Amazon. And the beauty of using the thinnest, that's the thinnest wafer paper you can get, is the easiest to make it look realistic, if that makes any sense. So this peony made with this wafer paper, and you can see it's still light and it still has all the textures. So that's what I use this grade of wafer paper. Downside of using this wafer paper zero grade is it's extremely thin, so you need to be really careful about applying any moisture. It would melt like in no time. But it's good if you're making flowers. For petals and for foliage, it is beautiful because it's the most realistic looking one. So the next grade I have is, there are different names for this grade. AD grade 0.27 millimeters, or sometimes it's called premium. This is a premium wafer paper by Oasis Supply, and it's also 0.27 millimeters. This is regular wafer paper by Saracina, and it also says that is 0.27 millimeters. And in this general category, premium or AD grade, I usually refer to all the wafer papers from 0.27 to 0.35 millimeters. So these ones are a little bit thicker, but to be honest, it's hard to tell the difference between the thin ones. This is 0.22. This is 0.27, so it is almost impossible to tell the difference. This one is a little bit thinner. Just take one sheet of wafer paper, it is so hard to tell which grade it is. But this is 0.27 millimeters wafer paper by Saracina, and this one is my go-to. So I use this particular brand, I use this particular grade for everything. So it's the most versatile wafer paper of all times. If you want to make a regular flower, like I have this orchid, and this is made with Saracina wafer paper because I needed some thickness to be able to shape it. And also this 0.27 millimeters wafer paper is great for making something like this. So wafer paper in this grade is beautiful on taking shapes, on taking textures, and you can see I made this interesting mushroom. Everything is made out of wafer paper. And also I use the same wafer paper to do my decorations like this one. I hope you can see this, because this wafer paper will allow you to make any texture, take on any shape. The downside why I prefer to use thinner wafer paper for my more realistic flowers, because if I'm conditioning this wafer paper, I need to color and condition on both sides because it's just a little bit thicker. But in general, if you're just starting out with wafer paper, buy this one, buy this grade, the easiest to work with. Next category I have is wafer paper cardstock. Here you can definitely tell the difference. So this is also called wafer paper cardstock, double thickness of wafer paper, or D grade wafer paper, and usually it comes in a size 0.6 millimeters. So it's generally it's a double thickness wafer paper. And I have two different brands. I have Icing Images. This is also D grade, so it's double thickness, and Saracina wafer paper in double thickness. And the difference between regular wafer paper and double thickness wafer paper, it's smooth on both sides, so it looks and it feels like two sheets of wafer paper just glued together, and you can see how thick it is. So you can barely bend this, and you can barely add any texture. And I have no idea how to use this wafer paper. I've tried different ways and I've tried different methods, but for me this particular grade, this double thickness wafer paper, is just too thick. I don't know what to do with that, because if I need something this thick, I would rather use a piece of gum paste or fondant and roll it out thin, and this is just, it is what it is, but you know that it exists. It is good. I tried a few different ways of using this wafer paper, and I think it is great. This grade, this D grade, is good for any structural decorations if you want to make something extra thick. I will place my flowers here so you can see all the different ways you can use wafer paper. I hope it will inspire you to try doing different things. And I'll show you what I used with this regular wafer paper and double thickness wafer paper. So with the regular wafer paper, this one is Saracina 0.27 millimeters. So this is premium or AD grade wafer paper. You can actually buy this craft punch. It is called all over craft punch, and it comes in two different things, placements. And what you need to do is you can place a piece of wafer paper here in the middle, and everything is magnetic. So you can see that I can clip my wafer paper, clip this part together and press it down. And now I will have this design on my wafer paper, and it works great if you want to make some sort of lace. And you can place it straight on your cake, fondant or buttercream. What I've tried with this double thick wafer paper is I use this craft punch. You can see I love craft punches because it's just easier to work with. And I made this lace because I've tried to punch it through this all over this one, and it doesn't go through as easily. So I've tried this one. You can see it takes some effort to punch it through. But I think that this type of lace will be interesting if you can apply some petal dust or something shiny to make it look even more shiny, beautiful, realistic. And you can use any craft punches with your wafer paper, or you can use a cutting machine, and you can use a pair of scissors. It doesn't matter. Wafer paper is very versatile to apply any shape you want. If you want to learn more about working with wafer paper, there is some books I have, and I would highly recommend you buy Oral. own them. And the first and most obvious book about wafer paper is Wafer Paper Cakes by Stevie. I wouldn't even try to pronounce her last name. And if you're interested in this types of decorations, so that's the how I got started. So I bought this book many years ago because my friend recommended me to try this book. And she teaches a lot how to make flowers, how to make different types of decorations, all the things you need to know about wafer paper. And she shows step by step how to create all these different designs. So this book is beautiful, Wafer Paper Cakes, and I will put all the links down below if you want to look them up. And my newest addition to my book cake decorating book collections is this one, the Gilded Cake by Faye Cahill, and she also uses a lot of wafer paper in this book, but mainly in her more, I would say, elegant design, or like more elevated opulent designs. And she also shows you a lot of things what you can do using wafer paper, like these things and everything. So if you want to learn how to make something like this book is also amazing. And my all-time favorite book for cake decorating is Maggie Austin Cake and her book Artistry Technique. And she has a whole chapter on wafer paper. So she started using wafer paper in her designs, I think, many years ago. So if you want to learn even more and Maggie's techniques working with wafer paper and creating different designs, I highly recommend this book. I think all of these books are available on Amazon or any bookstores. Where do you buy books? I buy my books on Amazon most of the time because it is the most convenient way of getting them to me. Thank you so much for joining me this week. I hope you liked this tutorial and I hope I answered your questions. If you want to learn more about wafer paper, check my website astashkinacakes.com, and I will put all the links to tools and materials I use in this demonstration in the description down below. See you next week. Bye bye.